Your first day on the Aldabra Atoll is a frantic push through shifting sand just to break into the light. You hatch alongside 4 siblings, each of you scattering in different directions within minutes. You are entirely alone, and your biggest physical liability is your shell. At birth, it is completely soft. If a predator or a larger tortoise steps on you, the shell simply bends. When a bird lands nearby to investigate, you have only one defense. You pull your head and legs inside that soft shell and freeze. You have to remain perfectly still until the predator loses interest and flies off. Survival here is about finding cover. You reach the bushes and slide into the shade of an immense adult. Nothing will bother you while something this large is resting beside you. You just have to live long enough to reach that size. By 3 months old, the dry season takes hold. The ground hardens, and finding water becomes a greater threat than predators. You navigate the island by following the physical trails carved into the dirt by older tortoises. These trails lead to hollows where a muddy patch is the only water source. You try to reach the wet ground, but a step from a larger adult connects with your shell, knocking you onto your side. You eventually roll yourself upright, but every resource is a physical battle. When you find a rare patch of green grass being eaten by another young tortoise, you hold your position. You refuse to move until the other tortoise gives up and walks away. This early existence is a relentless physical gauntlet. Without mass on your side, you are constantly at risk of being crushed, starved, or flipped over by your own kind. By year 5, your shell has hardened into a proper shield. These interlocking plates render bird attacks useless, allowing you to roam across open ground that was once too dangerous to reach. You now seek out fallen cactus pads, using powerful jaws to chew through the tough exterior. You eat these regularly because of the water trapped inside, which is more valuable than any other food on the island. At 20 years old, you survive severe droughts by stretching vertically against tree trunks. You use your leg strength to reach rainwater caught in the high gaps where branches meet the trunk. When a rival approaches the same tree, you use your body as a blockade. You step sideways and dig your legs into the ground, using your shell to physically deny them access to the water until they back down. Your body has become a heavy tool for hoarding the island's limited resources. You move through the landscape as an impenetrable shield, taking what you need while younger tortoises move out of your path. At 25, the rains return, and with them the drive to mate. When a rival male approaches, he stretches his neck as far as it will go. You respond by stretching yours up to match him, standing as tall as your legs will carry you. This combat is dictated by stature. You don't fight with speed. You hold the stretch until the other male lowers his head. The one who can maintain the highest position for the longest time wins the clearing. Once the female lays her eggs in the soil, she abandons them immediately. Whatever hatches will be on its own from the start, facing the same brutal cycle you did. By age 60, you are a massive, unmovable object. Younger tortoises avoid you entirely. You spend the dry season guarding a permanent water hollow, forcing others to turn around before they get within a few meters of you. At this size, you have effectively beaten the island's predators and rivals. The only threat left to your dominance is time itself. At 150 years old, your body begins a slow, grueling decline. Your shell is covered in deep scratches and peeling layers from over a century of pushing against rivals and scraping through rocks. You lose your dominance in pieces. You walk to a water hollow and find a younger male waiting. You lift your head to challenge him, but your legs no longer push you to the height they once did. He holds his stretch higher, and you are forced to turn away. Daily survival takes a physical toll. Movement requires more energy, and chewing takes longer. You frequently lower yourself to the ground and stay still, waiting for your chest to recover from the effort of moving your own weight. The massive armor that guaranteed your survival for a century has become an unbearable weight. Your failing legs struggle to lift the heavy frame that kept you safe for 100 years. You reach 180 years old during a dry season that outlasts your endurance. The ground cracks open across the whole island, and the hollows dry out faster than you can reach them. On the way to a water source, you experience a final physical failure. Your legs stop and fold under your shell, lowering your body onto the cracked ground. You are unable to lift yourself back up. There is no ceremony here. Other tortoises step around your shell without stopping, continuing on toward the water. They do not pause as your chest stops moving. The island simply carries on. Over the following weeks, the same sand you pushed out of 180 years ago begins to build up and slowly reclaim the empty shell.